All right. So let's jump into Unit 2, and we're going to be discussing questions for career clarity. So, what are those things that you really get excited about? So, again, on this one, I want you to journal and follow along and write down the questions and then write down your answers. Okay. So, let's just jump in and share my screen here. Okay, minimize this. All right. So, in Unit 2, questions for career clarity. Um, Connect my mouse here. So, first question, you know, share a few moments where you had a sense of being excited about your job or the thing you were doing. I like to call these the ecstatic engagement times. Now, it doesn't have to be limited to your job at first, right? I mean, just at all, really. I want you to, when you think about what is the thing that excites you the most in your past when you've been doing it, you know, that thing where it's like, oh crap, I forgot to eat. Oh crap, I forgot to feed the kids. Oh crap, I forgot to feed myself. Um, those are the times. Those are the times when you're really like engrossed, and you're in it and you're just doing it. That's what I'm looking for here. Now, if it's not in your current career, that's totally okay. What is it? Because this is to flush that out and maybe to help develop you where you can start to pivot into that. That's what this whole course is about, right? So write those down, right? No right, no wrong. What are those moments? Okay. And just let it flow. So another way to put it is maybe you lost a sense of time, you know, and you're just kind of flowing. What are those? And don't let that little voice in your head, if it pops up, but I got to make money at this. This is not what this process is about at this point. It's just about understanding what excites you. See, for me, I knew I wasn't excited anymore when um, just being behind the computer. And I've come to realize like I'm more excited when I get to teach and train than really anything else. Like when I get to see that I help make a difference for someone and that lights them up and they get to hear or understand something new for themselves that's going to get them closer to where they want to go, there's no better feeling for me. It's really awesome, right? And so that's what I want you to be looking for in your life. And if you don't have any of those, that's totally okay too. So I know some people that just can't think of it right now, but let that question ponder in your mind. And maybe over the next day or two, it will come in. You're like, oh my God, that thing I did with my uncle, I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. And I missed that. Maybe that's what we start to cultivate here. Okay. Um, so, some other questions inside of this. What parts or projects from your previous job have you enjoyed? So this is specifically in the realm of the job, right? So think of your jobs that you've had in the past. What parts of them have you really enjoyed? Maybe you're just a regular laborer or something like that, right? And you're just loading boxes on a truck, but you really enjoyed having great conversations with the people at work. There's something to be said about that. Like you really enjoyed having that conversation. So there's something about conversation about you that you really enjoy that you can come back to inside of this course where you can point to that. Okay, and then you can start to dig in deeper why you really enjoy those conversations or whatever it is, right? Um, let's jump into the next question. What skills or talents come naturally to you? Okay, what are those things that maybe other people say, hey, you're pretty good at that? How come I could never do that? That's what you're looking for. You may already know these, and that's awesome. And some of you may not already know these, and it might be hidden from yourself. So for me, it took me a long time to realize how much of a people person I am. I was stuck behind the computer for so long that it just become my comfort zone. Behind the computer, building websites or doing engineering work. or even so much so like inside of like working to get clients for my coaching business, right? I was behind the computer, and um, I had this dream of living in an RV, and I went after it and I did it, and I rebuilt an RV, and then I lived, around the country for a while, and actually lived in the desert for a while. And it wasn't until I lived in the desert and removed all the people from my life that I realized how much I really enjoy people and how much I got energy from them and how much that was a contribution and a gift to me. And it was like stuck on my face, and I couldn't see it. And so you don't have to move to the desert to figure this out. You can ask your friends, hey, what am I really good at? What do you admire about me? And so those are some things you can do to get this, right? And then, what career fields interest you? What are the things you're always watching on TV? What are those things? Um, what are the industries you're interested in? What are you reading about most of the time? What websites do you go to? Are you playing games all the time? Would it be cool to be a gamer? Would it be cool to actually develop games? Or are you looking at design sites all the time? And maybe it's not so much what you're reading or consuming. Maybe it's you're the person who loves, to make their room or their house, look awesome, or their yard look awesome. So maybe that's a natural talent for you to be, organized or make things look great. Or maybe you're always naturally critiquing people on this or that, or you something of that nature. So what are some of those natural skills or talents that come out? And then this question here, what career fields interest you? Or another way to ask, what interests you in general, and what industries are those in, right? So what industries, um, most people don't think about like what industry their passion is in. And I think it's good to reflect on what career fields they're interested in, and then what industries are those in. So a short story about that is, I worked with a client of mine, and he was really great at numbers. He was a CPA, he was an executive, and but he really cared about sports. And the field that he was in at the moment had nothing to do with sports. You know, he was in manufacturing, and it wasn't anything sports related. But when we got down to his story, what we discovered was he really cared about sports. And I said, have you ever thought about working in the sports industry and using all your CPA skills in that industry? And for him, that was a light bulb moment, like, oh my God, I never thought about working in that industry like that. I always thought I had to be a sportscaster, you know, but I could never do that, even though he kind of secretly did. Um, so that's where he can take his skills and align them in an industry and what he cares about, right? Because he really cares about teamwork and leadership, and and it just comes out of him naturally. So take some time, answer these, and I'll see you in Unit 3. Let's see now. I'm going to stop the share here and then stop the recording and see it in Unit 3.